actually made realtors' life a lot more easier after COVID, because one of the thing before COVID, the authenticine was not that easy.
I feel like you're like an ambassador in Windsor because one, you're speaking and you're not trying to sell Windsor. We're not trying to sell Windsor. It's just you're passionate about it.
People are still used to the paperwork.
Yes.
You're gonna print, take the offer with you, go to the
Yes.
offer presentation,
Yes.
get the client sign. But here's what my advantage was. Maybe that was my advantage because no one was there to hold me back. No one is stopping me to do whatever I want to do. I have clients from like at least 7 or 8 different countries. So, and here one diversity, another one is like it's actually a lot more relaxing.
Commercial in there, or are you talking just res or?
It depends on, right now the one I'm doing is like pure all residential.
Okay, 12 units.
Yeah.
All right, guys, welcome to our first episode. My name is Paul McAllister of First Class Mortgage Team. I have a special guest here. I've known you for a few years now, Aditya Soma, and he is a realtor, investor. I could keep going with all the other things, content creator. What would you introduce yourself as?
Dad,
Dad,
For a beautiful
husband, beautiful daughter. You've
immigrant.
brought your family here. So we'll get into all of that. But yeah, so I'm really excited to have you. Thanks for coming.
Thanks for having me, brother.
Yeah, and I guess the first thing I should say to set the stage is we are in Windsor, Essex County. We're both also like investors, hustlers, and we just know how to make things happen. And that's why I was like, you got to be our first guest.
Yep.
Because, you're the let's make it happen. I have a sign up there, make it happen. And to me, you're the definition of that because you've been making it happen since how many years have you been? When did you come to Canada?
2012, I came as a student.
Came as a student. What did you study?
I studied IT.
IT?
Yeah.
Okay, so you came in 2012. So we're in 2016. So 14 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
And then did you finish your IT or did you go right to?
I finished the studies, just like many immigrants, right? Like, doing hard jobs for 2 years, 3 years, and got into IT job. That's what got me to Windsor.
Okay. And so where did you go to school then? Was it in
Lambton, Sarnia.
Okay. So you went to Sarnia.
Yeah.
And you say hard jobs. So would you think a realtor, is that the hard job or was there harder before that?
No, the hard jobs are like literally working in a factory.
Okay.
It's physical, like for 16 hours, 14 hours,
Yeah.
That's hard job. Realtor is like, it's more like mental.
Yeah. And emotional.
Emotional, a lot.
Yeah. I think a lot of people think that it's easy to become a realtor and,
that's big myth, right? Like just I open the doors and, the sale is done.
Yes, that's what they think. It's funny because when I talk to, so I've been investing since 2012, same time.
Mm-hmm.
And back then you used to go with your realtor and they would pick you up.
Mm-hmm.
And they would drive you around I would see 12 places all across Windsor, and the worst, like they were like $50,000 places.
Yeah.
And some of them, like you'd have to have like,
secure.
yeah, it would you would feel like, is anything on me after you left?
Yeah.
But, and then they would be driving you around. We would get lunch, and that was the old, that was my introduction to what a realtor was.
Mm-hmm.
Then COVID.
Yeah.
Right. Well, people don't know that before COVID. That's to me was the job.
It's actually made realtors' life a lot more easier after COVID, because one of the thing before COVID, the authenticine was not that easy.
Mm-hmm.
Because people are still used to the paperwork.
Yes.
You're gonna print, take the offer with you, go to the
Yes.
offer presentation,
Yes.
get the client sign. It's a lot more hustle.
Yes. A lot more moving.
Yeah.
So I never really thought about this, but like before, when there was 20 offers, there would be 20. Would there be 20 agents lined up to present their offer?
I was told, again, I haven't seen either.
Okay.
I started my career in 2019 as a salesperson.
Okay.
I was told by many realtors, the experienced one who's been in the game for 20, 25 years.
Yeah.
They used to sit in the car for 3 hours, 4 hours until that whole presentation over.
Yeah.
Because
it's funny, yeah. Because like now, I remember sometimes like you're like, oh, I got you got to counter or you got to increase or so think about it. You'd have to be sitting there. You're on the phone with the client. We did have cell phones. Yeah, that's really interesting to think about. I never really thought about that. I thought we'd jump into that because I feel like so 2012 you came here. You became a realtor in 2019,
19, yeah.
and then like talk us through the barriers actually to becoming like what was that beginning like?
So when I came to Canada, my dad borrowed a lot of money for my studies at a pretty high interest rate, like 24%.
Oh,
Yeah.
wow.
So while I was studying, that's the reason like I was working sometimes 14 hours just to pay for bills and pay the loan.
Yeah.
With that in mind, I got a job here. The work was going well for first 2 years. So it took me like literally 2 years of full-time job to pay off my student loan. But this is the time around, like, I'm in Windsor. I always had like a lot of dreams, like, I want to go back home, stay there for 2 months, 3 months without, someone calling back to office. I want to bring my parents because my dad really like struggled physically and mentally. The family was never together because of the finances. Because my dad was in Dubai, in those documentaries you see 20 people, 30 people in one room. My dad was one of the labor.
Oh, wow.
So I have seen my parents struggle because we are from a small village, farmers background. Always wanted to get ahead in life financially. So at this point in time in 2015, 14, when I was working full time in IT, I was trying different things. I was working full time and driving Uber in the evenings.
Yeah.
That felt exhausting because in Windsor, Uber is not that busy. And then I tried pizza delivery. I tried e-commerce. I tried different things. Then finally, like one of my friend had a car breakdown, and he was looking for someone to give a jump start. So another Indian guy stopped for my friend to give him the jump start. And he was being nice and he was telling, I have this business. I can help you build a business, make money. And he understood and he's like, is that Ande? He's like, yeah, you know what? Don't worry. I'm not the guy for you, but I know someone who is always looking for an opportunity. So he put me in touch with that guy.
Oh my gosh.
So that was a turning point in my life, actually. It was a blessing. So he took me to, Farmington Hills. They have this weekly seminars every week. They do every Friday. They do an event.
Good.
A lot of motivational speaking, a lot of networking. And I used to go every week. And one week, one young guy gets on the stage and he was doing a motivational talk and he says, this book made me millionaire. And that book was Rich Dad Poor Dad.
Oh, nice.
I heard of that book many times, but never read books. Like other than my school books,
Yes.
like college books, not the books, that you get outside the world.
For sure.
So that was the first time I took it very seriously. Maybe, sometimes the right time, right mode you're in. So it hit me. It was Friday. I asked my mentor, do you have a copy? He said, yeah, of course, please take it.
It's on the shelf behind you.
Yeah. So I took it and I read it in that whole weekend, just that weekend, because I was like fully focused. And when I'm reading that book, I was able to connect so many dots. Like I had actually Rich Dad Poor Dad in my life, which I didn't know until I read that book.
Oh, wow.
One of my uncle, who is the richest person in our like surrounding areas, and my dad financially always struggled. But my dad is the one actually had pretty high education.
Okay.
But my uncle only did 7th grade. All he did is like he used to do farming and whatever the savings he has, lend money, and whatever the interest he get, whenever he has extra money, buy a land. Wow. So he was like investing, making active money.
Yeah.
So here Robert Kiyosaki keep talking about in that book, assets, liabilities. Until then, I never even thought something like asset or liability.
Yeah. You're thinking about get a good job and
Yeah. So that book was like, and in that book, he always talks rental properties or an asset if it making cash flow. I'm like, okay, let me search how to buy rental properties in Canada. This is like when I'm still on work permit.
Okay.
I don't even have status. Work permit is like temporary, right?
Yes.
So, and I don't have any savings at this point because I was paying my debts. So, I found this book called Investing in Rental Properties by Brandon Turner.
Okay.
And then that book opens up a lot more ideas. But the most important one that stuck in me is like leverage.
Leverage. Yeah.
You don't need all the money, because this was another aha moment for me as an immigrant, coming from India, where we're more used to. Now it's changing. Now there are like a lot of, getting mortgages and all. But back then,
Yeah.
loan is not a thing.
Yeah. Is it like when you're in, I haven't been to India yet. Is it like half built places? Like in Barbados, we have like houses that might take 10 or 15 or they build it brick by brick.
Yeah.
Is that still the thinking kind of?
My home,
Yeah.
like where my dad built, he built it probably 25, 30 years ago. For first 5 years, there was no, the brick was exposed. It's like exposed brick here is a common thing. But back home, exposed brick means you don't have money to finish it up.
Okay.
Windows were like closed. We could not finish. So he took probably 7, 8 years to finish it up.
Finished it. Okay.
So it's normal because
Yeah.
there is two different worlds, right? The ones who are with money, the ones who are
Yeah.
without money. So the ones who are without money, first is the roof.
Yeah. Yeah. The roof.
Yeah.
But they also, they don't owe when they're done.
Yeah.
Right. That's the big
Exactly.
difference.
That's a
is they
big
don't-
difference because they are using cash to pay off, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
So this book, I learned this leverage. He introduced the concept, in US, it's a US guy who wrote that book. He says FSHA loan. They call FSHA loan
Yes,
the first time home buyer loan.
Yep.
And I looked, is there something like that in Canada? Then I found out all you need is 5% down.
Yeah.
And this is back in 2016, September, October time. Okay, so all I need 5%, and I looked at what's Windsor home prices, and I wanted specifically asset, not a liability, which means I want to buy a home, but I want to live in one unit, rent out the other unit. I want the other unit to pay my expenses.
Yep.
And sometimes, destiny, luck, or timing. At this point in time in Windsor, if you remember, duplexes were for like those old duplexes, 100-year-old, for 100,000.
Yeah.
So my first duplex was 102,000.
Here, let's like,
5%
did you guys hear that? 100,000
Yeah.
for a duplex 10 years ago
Yeah.
in Windsor.
Yeah.
I remember.
Yeah.
I remember my dad got one for 60 grand. A duplex.
The thing is, even now you can get a duplex for 350.
Yeah.
Still, you can do a house hack.
Yes, for sure.
But the concept was like, I'm not buying the home for me to live in, because for me, it's to build wealth. So I started with the mindset of I want to build wealth. But it didn't happen that quickly because this I started learning theory to get to practical. It took me 6 months, 8 months because I was so scared.
Yes.
Imagine no family here, no friends who are into real estate. I have no clue about not even drywall. What's plumbing?
Yeah,
What's
yeah.
HVAC? We don't have HVACs in back home, And by this time, I never even lived in a house. I lived in apartment, like skyline apartment. So
Yeah.
it's completely different structure. So I have no clue. So zero knowledge
Yeah.
other than this book and the confidence.
So that's the start. Booking a confidence. And then so it took you 6-8 months to find a property.
Yeah.
And then you had the money saved.
So it's not saved, right? Because at this point, still I was paying my debts. So my mortgage person said, you have a good job. So job was my second leverage. So I can qualify up to 400,000. So which means I can live off of credit card and leave the income coming into the account, just leave it there.
Okay.
So debts still will allow me to qualify because I'm buying a duplex also. So
Yes.
that's another leverage.
Yes.
So it was okay to have credit card debt.
Yep.
So I was living
Liabilities.
off of credit card debt. I was allowing that my income come into the checkings.
Yeah.
So it's in there sitting.
Oh wow. And so that was your for down payment.
Yeah.
Oh wow. I love it. So I think, and a lot of people don't know, one, I know the anxiety of the first time home buyers, especially when you were studying. You're like, oh, 3.5%, because the FHA in the States, it's as low as 3.5,
Yeah.
and they even have ones that's like zero. It's crazy.
Yeah.
And then in Canada, it's the 5%, but it's the whole feeling of like, I always deal with clients that like, you got to hold their hand, you got to massage their shoulders, you got to pat them down. Like, there's so much emotions
Yeah.
involved. And so it sounds like you were the typical, went through all of those emotions.
100%. Especially not knowing whom to trust, not knowing anyone who can help.
Yeah.
But here's what my advantage was. Maybe that was my advantage because no one was there to hold me back. So
Yeah.
no one is stopping me to do whatever I want to do.
Yes.
So I was very excited when I found that. I was like, for me, excitement was more than the fears. Because I was soaked into this reading books about real estate, book after that, book after.
Yeah.
And that's when I found, thanks to my mentor, whom I found online, there was first real estate cash flow game in Windsor ever happened. And I was the first participant. And the host was my realtor. Like, not at that point, she was not my realtor. She was the one who was hosting, and her boyfriend is a mortgage agent at that point in time. Boyfriend, now husband.
Yep.
So I was the first person. Me and my wife was the first participants. Only four of us playing cash flow game for a couple of weeks. Now I became friends with them.
Yeah.
They owned a couple of properties. So they actually, thanks to Cassidy and Matt, they are the one who
They took you and they got you going.
yeah. They gave me the confidence because they were like 3-4 years younger than me. This is like back in 2016. They are like 22, 23, owning 3 or 4 properties at that point.
Oh, nice.
That gave me like even more excitement. Okay, if they can do it, I can do it.
Yeah.
And they're already helping me because they both are, mortgage person and realtor.
And so how did you meet them again? You reached out to them?
Yeah.
It was that game.
So I was looking for meetups in Windsor, Ontario.
Okay.
I was searching online because I'm a tech guy. So for me, every solution comes from online. You just need to ask. So I was asking how to buy rental property in Windsor. And then because in this book, the Brandon Turner book, he talks about, meet other investors. So he talks about, going and meeting local investors where you'll understand which neighborhoods are good, which neighborhoods are, you have to be aware of, what's the rents, all those things.
Okay.
So that's the next thing I did, meetups. And for, sometimes universe helps you point you in the directions. So she started literally just
pointing you.
Yeah.
That's so cool. I feel like a lot of that story is, I know you from the now, but a lot of what you do kind of like it translates. Like you're big on the events. I remember you had the investor meetup. What was it called exactly? The investor freedom
investor meetup.
So I have the Freedom Investor shirt.
Yeah.
And I wear it proudly. So, and that's bringing, you brought together, I don't know how many people were in that room, but it was a room full of investors, builders, and people that just are interested. So I feel like you're like an advocate for that because it's where you kind of come from.
Because it changed my life. Like I never imagined the life I'm living now. This is like out of my wild dreams. Like, I just came from New Zealand. You remember I was telling you?
Yes.
For me, I still have a note in my wallet. I wrote down 20 years ago, I'm going to take my whole family on a trip for more than a month. And that reality happened now.
New Zealand.
This would not have happened if I was just only in the 9 to 5 in IT job.
Yes. You were open to the universe.
Yeah.
And I was going to say, you said you went to New Zealand, but you didn't just do it. You brought your whole family, right? There was 20? Was it around 20?
10 of us.
10 of us.
Yeah.
And you went for a month? I knew you were gone forever. I was like, when you first walked into to our office, I said, welcome back to the world.
Yeah.
Right?
Yep.
That's awesome. I dream of trying to get my dad to go on a plane. He's just like against planes, but so it's not. But to have your dad's just.
Yeah.
I met your dad at the investor event, and because it was at the local restaurant in Windsor, and he was so proud, and he was just so, and he wanted to know how was his food,
Yeah.
right? He wanted to know how was his food. So I'm sure that was a cool experience for you,
Yeah.
for sure.
That's another dream, right? Like having my parents here.
Yes.
So now they live here, most of the time.
Yeah.
They go back home whenever they want to,
Yes.
whenever there is necessity for,
For traveling,
yeah.
and then your daughter,
Yeah.
your wife.
Yeah. That's why I call myself freedom agent. I, I, I got into real estate for freedom.
Yes, it's cool to see it because I remember, some of your first videos ever on YouTube. Like, what year was that? Was that 2019?
I started in 2018.
18.
The first video probably ever went is 2018.
I'm telling you, he was posting, and you were posting. I was like, man, I like just your energy. Even that time, you were still had a lot to learn, but your energy
I
attracted
was just
me.
posting whatever I learned at that point, whatever I was learning.
Yes.
That was my, I think, biggest advantage. No one in Windsor was talking about Windsor because I was so in love with Windsor.
Yeah.
And till the day, like, even if you give me $1 million, asked to move to Toronto, I would rather live in Windsor. I would rather die here.
So for people that don't understand that, what is the thing about Windsor?
So a lot of things that, me and my whole family fell in love with Windsor. One started with that beautiful riverside, bro. Like whenever I feel like little off, I just go in there.
Yeah.
Either if it's winter, I sit in the car. If it's summer, I just go on the walk or, biking. That's like the most favorite one. And the second one is like, it's not a big city, but it's not a small town either.
Yeah.
You have everything. Like you can, like I get all the Indian food, restaurants, everything from clothing to everything I can get, and way better than sometimes nowadays, better than the GTA
Okay.
from a quality of food point of view.
Yeah.
And the other one is US. Like we are right, like Detroit. Many
yeah.
people discount on that one. Bro, that's a huge bonus. From a immigrant perception, if I want to go to India, for me, Toronto is expensive than Detroit.
Oh yeah.
From my home, it's 25 minutes airport, the international airport. I can fly anywhere.
Yes.
But from also like, maybe this is another thing. I have seen the Windsor grow right in front of me. Because we had like, what, prices 100,000?
Yeah, there were 60,000. There's
And
100,000.
The population burst, like literally in last 7 to 8 years, at least 100,000 new people.
For sure. So yeah.
And small businesses growing. If you remember 10 years ago, if you look for an Indian restaurant, you would not find
Yeah.
one.
I think the cool part of what you're saying is, sure, GTA is the most diverse place probably on earth,
Yeah.
and Windsor has to be right behind it.
Yeah.
People don't realize how diverse.
Yes.
When I talk about how diverse Windsor is, and the cultures, so we have the Caribbean, the Italian, everybody's an immigrant, but like now it's just there's so many waves and the melting pot. When you go look at the schools and the children, everybody's from somewhere different, and it's and I'm talking about countries that you never even heard of.
Yeah.
So it's I definitely I like the diversity is the other factor I think you have in there.
Oh yeah. I have clients from like at least 7 or 8 different countries.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, and here, one diversity, another one is like, it's actually a lot more relaxing. If I feel like this is another big one, what I love in Windsor is like, if I want to go to my friend's place or come here, like, you're technically another town,
Yeah.
but it takes me like what, 15 minutes, 20 minutes?
Yeah. 20 minutes to get anywhere is what I say.
Yeah. So like, save so much energy in traffic that is got wasted.
Yeah.
Because I lived in Toronto.
Oh yeah, I have too, and that's one of the reasons of moving back. And the only way I'm sitting in traffic is I was getting paid for it, and if I'm not getting paid, I'm not doing it. It's like it's a part-time job.
Yeah.
Right? I used to work, and then it'd be an hour there, an hour back. I start doing the math, right? I like the math,
It's a part
and I'm like, all right, that's 10 hours, and then times that by the year. That's a lot of hours in traffic.
Yeah.
So it is nice. I feel like you're like an ambassador in Windsor. Because one, you're speaking and you're not trying to sell Windsor. We're not trying to sell Windsor. It's just you're passionate about it.
Oh,
And you
It
can,
gave me everything. That's
yes,
another thing, I guess,
yeah.
at one point I wanted to name my daughter Windsor.
Wow.
It was my literally first choice until 2 days before she born.
Okay.
Then found another name,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
that how much I love Windsor.
Wow. That's that's something.
Yeah.
And so even like the previous name, so since you've become a realtor, you've obviously you were crazy on your content. I've always Your content has always stood out to me. You've then like was it easy? Like talk about those beginning years and then leading us to now.
So maybe this is where my unique advantage. I always loved educating. I always loved just sharing whatever I know. So mine, like, it won't be like a scripted, bullet points. Okay, you gotta do this. It's like more of a my journey. I'm documenting my journey, so even my kid can watch. So I was naturally gravitated making those helpful content, but based on my journey, what I experienced, it came natural probably.
Yeah, for sure. And I feel like so the you're a realtor, you became a broker, and then like so where's the evolution to you
So
today? Well, tell us.
I became a broker. I opened the brokerage and I shut down also
Yeah, but still, like let's focus on that. You were a broker for how long?
for 2 years.
2 years. You built a team.
Yeah, I still have a team.
Yeah, you as a broker, you built a like to me, you had the building, you have the
Yeah.
building, you have the team, brokerage, and then you always like shifting.
Yeah.
So you shifted. So what made you shift?
So for me, it's like, again, I look at at least once a year, or once in 2 years. Am I living the life that the way I want to live? Do I have freedom, or something taking me away from my freedom? Brokerage took me away from my freedom because it was a lot of responsibility. I could not take it. It's like it's taking away from my freedom, from my time. If I
Yes.
had brokerage, I would not have traveled to New Zealand with a very ease. I didn't even think about anything for that 1 month.
Okay.
So I tried to go back and align, see, am I going in the direction that I want to go? Because, everyone have different goals. This is
Yes.
one thing I learned over the years. Like, what do you want? Is this something you want to continue?
Yeah. No, it's. I think when we're starting out, we have all these goals to get these places,
Yeah.
but it's not about just getting to the places. It's about how you get there.
Yeah.
And how is it, right?
Yeah.
You don't just want the nice car without gas. Like you want to have the right. We say balance. I don't like the word balance because balance is kind of
Yeah.
is a hard.
Maybe, yeah.
Yeah, it's a gray area if balance exists for certain people, right? I always say there's lions, and for a lion do they have balance to a certain degree?
Yeah.
Right. But that makes so much sense. You want to be. I always say like when I'm with my family, I'm with my family. When I'm with my agents, I'm with my family again. But my mind should be there, and I feel like I could imagine as a broker, it's just they're everything. It's like getting attacked, right? You're going through a, so that makes sense. But then, so you still, I guess we've talked about the real estate stuff, but what about the actual like purchasing? I know you've invested a lot. Let's switch gears a little bit to the investing side of things.
So my investing strategy was always burst strategy.
Yeah.
Even my first deal, I bought a 102,000 duplex that was not in a uh, beautiful condition. Even though I didn't know anything, my realtor said, I can get you a contractor, purchase plus improvements.
Yeah.
I increase the property value. So burst strategy, which for those who don't know what burst strategy means, like buy, renovate, rent it out, refinance, and repeat. So the goal is like you're buying a property, and let's say I'm putting in $1,000. $1,000 is going into this property, and I'm getting that 1,000 back within 3 months, 6 months, sometimes a year. But I own the property still,
Yes.
and that makes positive cash flow
When it's done.
when it's done.
Yes.
So it has to positive cash flow. Maybe this is another thing why I love Windsor. you can do this strategy even till the day when, everyone around the nation says, there is no,
dead,
the
dying.
homes are expensive.
Yes.
But in Windsor, we are lucky that, we can, around Windsor, you
For
can
sure.
do this strategy all day long.
Yeah, no, it's so I'm a Burr guy. I used to have a community here that would call me Mr. Burr
Mr.
at one point, because I believe in that.
Yeah.
Right. And
But I upgraded a little bit now. So
Yes.
now I'm not doing the burrs anymore, the old burrs. I coined a new term, new burr, brand new burr.
brand new Burr. I've
Yeah.
been hearing about brand new Burr. So brand new Burr. What is a brand new Burr?
So only difference from the old one is like, you're buying a property, any old property, you're uplifting it. But here I'm buying a lot and building a small multifamily on it. And whatever the investment went in, I get out after the construction is done, rent it out, refinance.
Mm-hmm.
So technically, it's the same concept. None of my capital into the deal. So what I'm doing now, going forward, because I had to look at all my portfolio and see where I want to head. This is one thing I learned after this market situation changed. Um, when I started, it was like, I want to build. But now after having a daughter, after seeing all those, cute little moments, but also seeing this crazy 2024 and 2025 when I had my brokerage and a lot of responsibilities, I said, no, now I have to make my plan such a way that I don't run around a lot. I still have my freedom, but I still have the solid assets that I can pass on to my daughter and also will fund my lifestyle for rest of. So I said, okay, this is why I was building 12 units on in behind my office. So I'm gonna do like 12, 12, 12, 12, or 10, 10, 10, just
Okay.
like 5 buildings and offload everything else.
Yes.
Just keep 5 of them.
Yeah.
Maybe pay off one of them as soon as possible. So one is like complete cash
Yes.
for now, and the rest is like with the leverage for the daughter. I can pass on, probably the assets.
So I think we're heading to the same place. At first, when I first started, I thought I want 20 houses.
Yeah.
But then somebody was like, 20 houses means 20 furnaces,
Yeah.
20 roofs.
Yeah.
And he's like, you need to get those 20 into one roof and one furnace. Then that's what I think you learn as you get into it. At first, you're like, I need everything.
Yeah.
And that's what I think I'm hearing from you, right?
Yeah.
So that's cool. No, it's and also even, is there any commercial in there? Or are you talking just res or?
It depends on, right now the one I'm doing is like pure all residential. 12
Okay,
units.
12 units.
Yeah.
And then the 12 and the 12, do you already have the land for the 12 and the 12? Or is that
Right
just
now I
the?
have the 6 units land already,
Okay.
but I'm always keeping an eye.
Yes.
When the right one comes, because this is the good thing is I don't want to do like all at once, one a year.
Yeah, 1 a year. That's good.
Money moves from this project to this project anyways.
Yes. That's
So
what we like to do.
just goal is to make sure money is ready for this project. So
That
I
makes
can
sense.
move easily project to project.
That's cool. That's cool. So I'm excited for that. And especially the brand new bird, like for somebody who doesn't get it, you can fix things up. But the brand new bird, talk about like the differences in terms of, the process, the asset, really. Just talk about the differences of where the outcomes, right?
Yeah, so biggest things that what made me choose, is I always have done old ones. But the thing is like, with the brand new one, no maintenance for next 10 years. Pretty much like, because, no major items. That means I know mostly if I'm getting $1,000 cash flow, 80% of the chances I will have that cash flow.
Yes.
But if it's, the older one, maybe the roof is,
Something's going
close
wrong.
yeah. So something gets older also, right? Like over the period. So that's the first one. And second one, the market conditions right now, because we have less immigrants coming in, because, the amount of vacancy rate gone up from 3.5 to now 4 or 3.2 to 4. So in this situation, what I'm noticing quite often on, rental side, if it's an old property, if I'm asking, let's say for a 2 bedroom, 1,500 versus if I have a brand new unit for the same 1,500, This one might take a month to rent,
Yes.
but this one is going like that. So the vacancy rate on a brand new ones, and if they're affordable rents, your vacancy is like literally zero.
Yes. You're
So
like,
for me, that's another one. And the last one is, my goal is to, give at least one or two buildings for my daughter when she turns not 50, 100, when she turns 30. So I'm having, let's say, a mortgage on this building right now for 30 years amortization. She's 3 years old. So by the time she's 30 or 33, she has a free and clear asset with, if it's 12 units, for example, probably it will make 15 to 20,000 income. Free and clear. That means after all the expenses, net income, at least $10,000
yeah.
that she can have. If I give one or two, so now she has something to pay for her life, for her living expenses, and she can go figure out whatever the heck she want to become.
Yes.
Now money is not because for me, my whole life I have seen my parents and myself struggling for that living expenses, and I don't want my next generation to struggle for that. So 30 years old building, it's still not an old building. We know that.
Yes.
Right? Like we are still seeing 50-year-old buildings still solid,
No, for sure.
80-year-old buildings still there, but 30-year-old even nicer.
No, that makes total sense. But that I think the biggest challenge you're gonna have is, what if she's watching you with all this leverage and she says, "Oh, that's free and clear." She said, "That's free and clear."
Yeah.
And that's, you never know where she can take it though. She could. You're talking about that building, but she could take that building to
See, that's at least she has a
something.
that's, instead of starting from zero, she's starting from one.
For sure. For sure.
Yeah. How she can utilize, that's where our skills of teaching comes in, of course.
Yeah. Yes. For sure. And I can only imagine what we're doing in 30 years from now.
Yeah.
Just thinking about from 2012. So you're 14 years, 5 years as a realtor. You're still a baby.
Yeah.
You're still a baby, right? Do you feel like a baby, or do you feel like you're weathered?
No, I feel like I'm just starting out.
Yeah.
I'm in 20s, bro. Early 20s.
Yeah, no, that's awesome. So what's next? What's next? So you're gonna do your tens. But what is next for you in the immediate?
So for me, where I'm spending most of my time now is like content, podcast. I started a AIM, Average Immigrant Millionaire podcast.
Nice.
I bring on guests often, who are immigrants, who bring stories to inspire people. So that's something, I don't know why it's like I enjoy so much in giving. So my way of giving to my community is like the confidence, the knowledge, the skills that, that is not available out there. Even, yes, there is a lot of content from, a lot of people who grew up here. But for immigrants, it's like if some other immigrant who is from similar background, who also face the same situations, and similar type of stories come out, the confidence of an immigrant goes quite a lot. Because for me, like if I had someone whom I can connect and relate, 5 years before I got him, I would have done back then also.
Yeah, yeah. You
Because the confidence is like, okay, if this guy can do it, I can do it too. So that's my biggest focus going forward. I still enjoy, I have a team of, now we are like 7 agents. I really get so much, what do you call, pride or like happiness, fulfillment.
Yeah,
from
you're seeing your kids grow. That's how
mentoring this, the realtors and make them grow. My simple goal is like for next 5 years, I want to make at least 10 millionaires.
Okay.
So that's
Nice.
that's
a cool goal.
Yeah. And I enjoy sales. I don't know why. Like, when someone comes to me with their situation, their financials and their goals, I love to make a plan with all these experiences. Sometimes if I don't work with people to build their dream and execute one at a time, that gives me a lot of sense of purpose. So I want to continue doing that.
It's so fun, and it's cool that I get to sit and watch it, and I'm always watching. Even your you talked a little bit about your 100-day challenge,
Oh,
which
yeah.
I might jump on. So, what is a 100-day challenge? And we'll start closing. But what's a 100-day
Yeah.
challenge?
I, so recently I started to see a lot of, in our, sales um, side of people,
Yeah.
a lot of laziness I'm seeing because, they're just blaming the market and, trying not to do too much
Yes.
because thinking that there is no business out there. But I believe that, there is a lot of business. There's a lot of business out there because it's, when no one, when there is less buyers in the market, more inventory, like Warren Buffett's favorite saying, when no one is, doing it, that's the time when, what's that quotation? When everyone is greedy, be fearful. When everyone is fearful, be greedy.
Yes.
So
Warren
it's
Buffett.
the time actually can help, the ones who've been waiting to get that perfect investment opportunity. It's the time to really like take advantage of. Yes, there is, less people, vacancy rate is high,
Yeah.
but there is ways you can actually take that as an opportunity because we're doing multiple deals like now. You remember we were talking about that one property that I got recently, my last acquisition, got a property that is sitting on a double lot. We severed the lot, sold the property, got the lot for free.
Yes.
If it was a different market, I would not have got that, not that easily, but because the market situations are like this, so
There's deals.
so long story short, there is motivation, there is business, but people are lacking motivation, and especially I saw that in my team. So I said, okay, you know what, let me find a way to challenge them. So I'll do 100 days life transformation challenge. So for 100 days without missing, you got to do 6 activities. One, move your body for 30 minutes at least, which means walking, swimming, running, choose whatever it is. Don't give excuses because walking, you can walk even in the on the treadmill or like outside.
Yes.
Second one is read a book at least 15 minutes, not too long, 15 minutes, even if it's 5 pages, because and not like just any books, anything that can help you to build your knowledge for next 100 days. Which book? And the next activity is pretty much doing a video every day, because you're complaining that you don't have business.
Yeah.
I'll show you how the business will come. You just, and it doesn't have to be any crazy edits or anything. Just pick up your phone. Hey, I started this 100 days challenge. I'm doing this. That's it. And write a journal. Just simple. What are my 3 most important things today? And what I'm grateful for. Um, what are the things that I want to focus on? How do you felt today? Just the journal.
Yeah.
Just the 5-10 minutes, and no alcohol, and eating healthy.
I think by listening to the beginning of this podcast, everything like you're one book away from changing your life.
Yeah.
Regardless if you're an immigrant, regardless of who you are one book away. And that's what I've learned from you today is you're one book away from changing your life. And the coolest part of this challenge that you're talking about is you saw somebody online, reached out, and that's how you got your first realtor, investor, people who got you there.
Yes.
So I think all of those things that you've talked about is in this challenge.
Yes.
Right. And a lot of what you're saying is you're inspired by what you've done, and now you're inspiring your team and your others and your community. And that's why I feel like your vibe is the ambassador of Amherstburg. I mean, of Windsor.
Windsor. I'll let you take the.
Yeah, I'm the Amherstburg, you're Windsor. But I feel the same of Windsor, but I when I start talking about Amherstburg, I do talk the same way.
A lot.
Right? I could talk about forever.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's awesome because it's like that story, what you told in the beginning, is now just it's coming out of you everywhere.
Yeah.
And that's really awesome.
Yeah, because this 6 activities what got me everything in life. That's why I call it Life Transformation Challenge. I'm going to release an app soon.
All right, life transformation, and that's it's going to be life transformation app.
Yeah.
Nice. Okay.
100 LTC.
100 LTC.
LTC.
And so you'll probably start seeing
Not
it do
LTV,
this.
LTC.
Yeah. So it's LTC after the LTV.
Yeah.
I like it. Well, I know, I really want to appreciate you taking the time. I know you're busy. And I know you're busy just coming back from New Zealand for a month. People must be chasing you. So we really appreciate you taking the time and joining us in our office. I always appreciate doing, business with you and just you're my friend. You're my brother. And I appreciate
Poker
you.
buddy.
And poker buddy. And I could keep going. The list goes on. But I do appreciate you taking the time. And I appreciate you inspired this podcast. He said, why don't you do this? And I said, great idea. And he's like, I'll be there. And you're here. So I really appreciate you, one, the inspiration, and two, doing what you said. It took me few more months than normal that I wanted, but I really appreciate you being
But
here.
I'm glad you did it. You're natural at it. I'm pretty sure we'll revisit after 100th episode.
Yeah, let's get the episodes going, and then
Yeah.
I'll keep growing. But
Awesome, bro.
like you said, you started with the book. Now you're starting me, the butterfly effect.
There you go.
So
Yeah.
And so thank you. If you're still listening, thank you for joining. We will be doing this on a consistent basis. My business partner, Aaron Liu, will be hosting, and I will be hosting, and we're going to keep bringing on guests with their interesting stories. And really, again, I want to appreciate you. Aditya Soma, realtor, father, husband, investor, Windsor ambassador with a 100-day challenge app coming soon, freedom investor, and that is all.
And a friend.
And a friend and a brother.
See you on the next one.
See you.